Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Stormworks, and we are working on the Submarine, the bane of my existence, the bane of your existence, the Submarine, the dreaded Submarine. Anyway, sorry. We are back. We are sort of done, and we've got a bit to do in this episode. So I will say, unfortunately, probably the last building episode you guys are going to get. That doesn't mean it's on the workshop. I'm sorry. I only get like 20 minutes with this game or with this thing in the workbench before Stormworks implodes on itself. And between you and I don't really know what to do about that. So probably going to not record the rest of the building, but it is just interior decoration. So you guys won't really have to worry about that. I will make a video when this is on the workshop. And obviously videos will still keep coming. But yeah, that's just kind of the current state of this thing. It's part of the reason it's taken so long is because I can only record for 20 minutes and then it crashes, and it's not like a reboot the game. It'll just instant crash until I like restart my computer and chill for like an hour. So I'm thinking it's not playing well with my hardware itself, which is not a good thing. I know that. But anyways, enough of that rant. We are building another bunk room down here. So today's episode is going to be a little bit slower, and I know the angles in this are going to be really, really weird, but the submarine is getting pretty compact. So we're going to be having the camera go through blocks kind of exactly like this all episode. So I do apologize, but that is just kind of the state of the submarine currently. So that's what we're working with. I'm not going to overcomplicate this bunk room downstairs. That's supposed to be for more normies instead of maybe some higher ranking people. So this is going to be a larger bunk room. I'm actually really happy with how this turned out. So I'm kind of excited for you guys to see it in the end. But again, we're not going to go too complicated. I'm going to try to get 4 beds in here. And that'll push the total beds on the submarine to 4 up here, 2 upstairs. So 6 in the forward compartment and then 2 in the main. So another 8. Ideally, we need to get one more bedroom. I'd like to have a crew size of like 10 to 12. So I need to get one more bedroom in, which is fine. I do have the room for that right across the hall. But again, you guys probably won't see that just because I can't. Generally, these raw videos are like 40 minutes. That's usually how long I like to record for, like 40 to an hour. And if I can't get 20 minutes into a video, then I have to splice a lot of videos together. Like this one is going to be 3 different video recordings together, and it just becomes very annoying, very cumbersome. And at this point in the build with this, I don't really care, and I don't think you guys do either. Mostly just because we're not doing anything structural, anything important, anything new here. We're just kind of doing interior work, bedrooms, that kind of thing. So anyways, we're just, we got the bed placed, and we are trying to make it look a lot nicer in here. The first thing I want to do is I want to get rid of these darker gray walls. If you notice, the rest of the submarine does have painted walls, except for the interior, or exterior walls. I kept the exterior walls, the dark metal, just so you can kind of tell, like, hey, that's the hull. But I do want to lighten it up inside the room itself, just because it is getting pretty dark. So. And these are the spaces I was saying that I could turn into bedrooms. So on each side of that stairwell, we have some dead space there. I can turn those into some bedrooms. And later in this episode, we're going to go work on a bathroom upstairs. We're going to finish up the upstairs bathroom. So these guys should be all set from that kind of standpoint. We have the leisure room in, we have the mess hall, all that kind of stuff. We do need to go back and do the kitchen, the galley. But anyways, that is, again, not your guys' problem. That is mine. So real quick, I do want to kind of talk about how I guesstimate the crew sizes, because most of my ships, I do have an actual crew size target that I have. So for this, it would be 12 to 16 is the actual, bunk spaces that I want. But yeah, so there's a specific methodology, I guess, which is also kind of how I came about the crew size of the carrier, the micro carrier. So what I do is I find the real life equivalent to, or a similar vehicle in the real world. Like for the carrier, I used, the Gerald R. Ford, I believe. But anyways, so I take the crew size of that and I take the dimensions of that. So, I take the length divided by the length of the carrier, multiply it by the crew size. So you're going to get less than one value, so you're going to basically reduce the crew size by each dimensional size. And so that kind of gives you like a rough estimate for how to scale the crews on the ships. So like just now, a Seawolf is about 140 meters long. It's got a crew of about 160, if I remember correctly. Anyways, if you reduce, basically, if you divide the widths by, or the lengths by the lengths, my submarine to theirs, and multiply it by the 160 crew, and then I didn't go by hard dimensions on the submarine because submarines are a little different. I actually went by floors. So the Seawolf has 4 floors. This has 2. So I divide that number again by 2. And then the Seawolf is about a little bit over 80% longer. So I multiplied this again by 0.8. And this gets you to around 15 to 20 crew size. So that's kind of the idea with that. I know the number sounds really arbitrary and weird, but I do put some thought into it. And like in the microcarrier's case, the microcarrier didn't have enough bunk rooms, but I put as many in there as I could. But yeah, so that's generally how I do that. And you can find all of these numbers pretty easily online. And then I just, like I said, take the crew size and I divide it between the ratios of each dimension. So, you scale it down by all 3 of the dimensions that you're building in. And usually that gets me to what I personally think is a pretty good recommendation for crew size, at least if you're going to do a full interior. Now, if we are comparing apples to apples, I don't need as large of a crew on this submarine as a Seawolf would because we do not have torpedoes. We do not have people loading torpedoes. We do not need a crew to control and fire torpedoes. We don't have any of that. So that's automatically like 4 or 5 guys minimum that you need. So we don't really need those, which is why I'm going more for the 10, 12 mark on bunks. But really, we don't have all that much more that we need to put into the submarine. So I might as well just keep filling it with bunk rooms, really. Anyways, I'm going to quit the yapping and we're going to get into the time lapse.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do, that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
All right, bathroom done. Kinda. I don't know. We'll come back to that. You guys will see that at the end of the episode. We'll walk around the submarine. But back to this pesky little bunk room we were working on. So I wanted to just kind of take a break from that. Obviously, we just kind of building a bunk room all episode, so a little boring. So quick little cutaway, get the bathroom done. I did say we were going to do that. So that is pretty much finished. I need to go up there and add a mirror and change some of the logic. The keen eye of you would notice that I hooked some of that up incorrectly, so I got to go fix that. But not a big deal. I just used the wrong player sensors. But yeah, this bunk room, it's mostly done. We just got to add a couple other key features, like obviously need some lights. That's a pretty important thing. And then I want to get a desk with the fluorescent light if possible, but I don't know if we'll be able to squeeze that in, just because this room's different than the others, and doesn't really have like a overhead desk section. So we'll see. If I can, I'll get it. If not, oh well. Either way, we got lights going in, and that is a good thing. So anyways, we're just putting in some of the finishing touches in here, and then I'll cut into the actual world, and we'll walk around the submarine. We'll check this out quick. There are a few things that we'll probably have to fix, obviously, or come back, but that's kind of why we also do the walk around. So I can see what I spelled wrong and what I labeled wrong and miss it anyways. But yeah, it's good practice. So yeah, I think that room is pretty much good to go. We probably could fill the wall space a little bit more with just some random equipment, which that's okay. We can definitely put some empty equipment slots right here for the guys. And I do kind of want to squeeze a fishing rod in here somewhere, but I don't know. We'll see if we get to that. I'm going to get some of these placed in, but let me not bore you guys with this. We're going to get this spawned in the real world so we can check it out. You guys don't need to see me place radios and flashlights and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyways, here we are in the submarine, in the real world, not the build editor. And I'm running through the tiny little maze it is. It's not really that complicated, actually. It's just a big hallway. Most submarines are. But yeah, here is the bunk room thus far. And yeah, I think it is looking good. It does look like a little bare, I will be honest. It looks like it needs a little bit of paint block love. That corner up there is a little empty, and the bunk rooms are a little, I don't know, lackluster. So we'll make sure that the door is labeled, because that was also not labeled when we walked down there. So get that labeled. And yeah, let's see what we can do to make this nicer, first of all. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much most of the building really we're going to do in this episode. I do have a little bit of, actual gameplay in a few minutes here. But other than that, this is a pretty boring episode, mostly just bunk rooms and me ranting about crew size. But yeah, so I did say this corner up here is a little bare. So I'm going to put like a little cargo net up here and maybe just some junk. Make the room feel smaller, which is also a kind of an issue. This room is a little taller than it should be in practice. So I do want to make it feel a little bit more claustrophobic in here, and putting stuff on the ceiling will help that. So that's the game plan. And that's pretty much the only other thing that I'm going to do in here, other than, maybe some paint work. But I'm probably going to come back and do some more paint work in here. Just I feel like the walls are a little bit bare. So definitely need to work on that a little bit if we can. All right. So you made it. You made it to the end of the episode. Yeah. So we're just going to walk around quick and check this thing out a little bit. I'm in the shower room right now. If you guys haven't seen that, it is from a prior episode, obviously. And then this is the upper bunk room, and super, super dark in here. We already checked out the lower bunk room. I'm not going to go back there. This is older recording. So I did add a nice little storage section up here, which is kind of nice, but you do take damage going in, which is not very nice. So, and we're just going to go drive this thing a little bit too. So I've been trying to kind of do a lot of the actual using of this on camera. Pretty bad at that, at usually playing the game in my videos, but yeah, we're gonna give it a go here. And part of that is I just want to show you guys kind of how this thing functions. So I know it is dark out right now. I did add some navigation lights, as you can see. They're not set up perfectly, I know, don't yell at me, it's a submarine, who cares. They're not really even ever going to be on without an escort. So anyways, I'll change it to day here in just a second. I'm just sending the balloon up a little bit further. And yeah, I know you guys can't really see anything. It is nice because our front camera is infrared, but I don't have an infrared switch for the main camera on the balloon, which probably is something I need to go back and add. Enough of that, though. We're going to get the ballast filling and put a depth in. You do need the negative sign. Keep in mind, guys, need the negative sign. And flip that switch on, and hopefully we will start diving. Yeah, it looks like our depth is slowly going down. Our ballast tanks are pretty empty, though, so it might take us a few seconds here to get down to negative 10 meters. But looks like we're slowly getting there. I know it's hard to tell with the cameras, so let's go ahead and get it to daytime. And as you can see, we are slowly getting down to the depth we need to go. And just the little camera poking out the top, which is funny. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. The camera can go way higher than that, which is kind of cool. So this thing is really, really useful for spotting. And basically, I need to get a radio on the balloon so you can send the targeting data to other vehicles. Because basically, you could just lurk by an enemy fleet at negative 100 meters down and send the coordinates straight back to your own ship. Anyways, guys, that is pretty much all I got for you guys in this one. I'm going to stop ranting about features that I need to add to this submarine and maybe go add them. Maybe. But yeah, as you guys can see, it's pretty close to done. I mean, really, it's pretty polished in here. There's not really a lot of other things I need to add. I'm not going to go too complex with the control systems on this. You guys know all of our PCs will explode if I do that, so I won't do that. But yeah, the submarine has pretty much everything we need now. It's got depth control, altitude or autopilot, all of the navigation instruments, the sonars, the radars, all of that, bunk rooms, HVAC, plumbing. So yeah, we're pretty much good to go. Like I said, I'm probably going to finish this one off camera, so give me a few weeks here, guys. But the Stormworks videos will keep coming. I'll let you know updates on the submarine in the background of those. Maybe you'll get one more build video, but as of right now, if the game keeps crashing like it is, I'm just gonna do it on my own time. But anyways, if you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. Your support is always much appreciated. If you guys like this series, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I will keep these videos coming, and I will let you know when this submarine is on the workshop. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.